Victoria Atkins never seems to have a very good day in Parliament, and yesterday was no exception. The Liberal Democrats' Opposition Day debate was all around about sewage and making it harder for water companies to dump it. During her speech, Atkins tries to claim that the Tories made great strides in cleaning up the waterways, checking data and imposing restrictions on dumping of sewage. Yet this is just all nonsense. It's recorded that the Conservatives voted in favour for more sewage to be dumped in the waterways. They also voted in favour for water companies to prioritise making profit rather than the cleanliness of the waterways. And then during her speech, she tries to blame Labour for having 14 years in opposition and not having a plan to come and clean up the mess that they've made. What was quite funny, though, was where the Deputy Speaker was really not amused with her intervention. You see, some Labour MPs were laughing at some of the remarks she was making during her speech, and then when called out about it, she then tries to intervene on an intervention, which you just can't do. So, in order to get her point across, she raises a point of order and digs the hole even further. It's all just so very cringe. Here, have a watch.
We are proud of the fact that by the time we left government, we had met our ambitious target to ensure that 100% of storm overflows are monitored. They rely on those figures rightly already in this debate, and I've no doubt will rely on them in their speeches as well. But in the dark days before 2010, their predecessors would not have had this information. I see a Labour member laughing about that. I don't know why she's laughing about knowing more about the data collection so that we can correct it. Now, after 14 years in opposition, the Labour Party should have come into office with a plan of what more needs to be done to fix this century-old problem. And what is more, set that plan in action last summer with energy and gusto. I know the right honourable gentleman is chuntering from a sedentary position. May I say what a delight it is to actually see him in the chamber. Normally he's running frit from farmers. But instead we have had an underwhelming trickle, a review, yet another talking shop forum that hasn't done anything other than have a meeting, and a bill that has, as we described it during the passage of the bill, set out much of what was already happening. We also put forward an amendment to limit the amount of debt that water companies could accumulate, as well as an amendment to protect bill payers. Sadly, both of those were rejected. Perhaps the Honourable Lady, she's welcome to intervene on me if she's in fact doing that. Is she doing that? No intervention. Well, we have not got that commitment, but I'm genuinely happy to give way to her because I want to improve her own legislation.
Happy to offer. I think what you'll find my response to that is part of looking at levels of debt is something that is part of the Water Commission. That's a conversation that the spokesperson will know, because we had this conversation, Shadow Minister had this many times across in the Bill Committee, that is part of what the Commission is looking at. And I gently also remind her that much as I accept that she's so super keen for us to achieve everything she failed to in 9 months, she had 14 years.
Wow. Where's the energy? Where's the gusto? This is almost... The rewriting of history is almost... It seems to be a theme this week for the government, but there we go. And I'm trying to be constructive and collegiate in the way that we're dealing with this. We all... I mean, the public will hear the laughter. This is what they don't understand. I'm trying to be constructive in that we managed to collect the data. We did have significant infrastructure investment in the Thames tidal pipe, as I've explained. But also there is more to do, and I have always said that at this dispatch box.
We heard from the Shadow Secretary of State some bemoaning about the laughter from these benches. I think the laughter from these benches was at the idea that people in this country should be grateful for the condition that we've been left the waterway by the benches opposite. Does my humble friend share that the amusement on these benches at that ridiculous thought?
The Shadow Secretary of State will know that she cannot intervene on an intervention, which was far too long, so I think we'll go back to Julia Buckley. I thank you for the intervention, which was very amusing. But more importantly is the impact. I will continue. More important is the impact of our Water Special Measures Bill to ban bonuses where high standards are not met for protecting environmental.
Tory Atkins. Labour backbenchers should know this by now. The honourable gentleman fell into error, I'll be kind, fell into error by mischaracterising the comment I made about him and his colleague next to him laughing during the course of my speech when I was talking about the importance of data monitoring. It was not in any way...
Order!
Sorry.
The Shadow Secretary of State will know that was not a point of order, that was a point of debate. Perhaps we'd best return to Julia Buckley.
It's not the first time Victoria Atkins has upset the Speaker. I imagine she pretty much does it every time she stands up. But here is another time, so go watch that next. It's on screen now. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.